joining us now is Ojinika Okpe, with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jeanette.
Happy new month.
How are you?
Happy
okay,
Friday.
Yeah, it's a new month.
Yes, how are you?
Yes, how are you?
Tundu, we're watching you. How are you? Good morning.
Morning, OJ. How are you?
You know it's my favorite day of the week.
You're
Good morning,
always giddy
Rufai.
on a
Yes,
Friday.
always
Morning,
happy.
Archie. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
It's all right.
Perfect. Good. Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United States, Ketanji Brown Jackson was sworn into the Supreme Court on Thursday, shattering a glass ceiling as the first black woman on the nation's highest court. The 51-year-old is the court's 116th justice. Under sports, Nigeria's Super Eagles forward Moses Simon on Thursday was nominated alongside former Liverpool teammates Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah for the Confederation of African Football's Men Player of the Year award for 2021 and 2022. Mane, who joined German champions Bayern Munich last week, is the last man to have been crowned Africa's best in 2019. FC Copenhagen midfielder Akiwumi Amo also made the list of nominees for the CAF Awards under the Youth Player category. Then, three-time Formula One champion Nelson Piquet has been banned from the British Grand Prix days after using a racial slur to describe seven-time champion Lewis Hamilton. In a podcast, the British Racing Drivers Club moved swiftly to suspend the 69-year-old Brazilian driver, who is an honorary member of its exclusive club, despite apologizing to Hamilton. Honor Entertainment, Grammy Award-winning Afrofusion artist Burna Boy performed his latest song, Hold My Hand, featuring British singer Ed Sheeran from his new album, Love Damini, live in concert at the iconic 90,000 capacity Wembley Stadium in London on Wednesday night.
So tight, coming closer. I wanna be on the light until the night is over. Until the night is over, until the night is over.
Finally, Afrobeats musician Fireboy and Ed Sheeran performed their collaborative hit song, Peru. The 26-year-old Afrobeat star, who recently became the first African artist to perform on the main stage at the 2022 BET Awards, was a guest artist at the British singer's Wembley Stadium tour concert. In a video that has gone viral, Fireboy broke down in tears after his performance.
Thank you. I love you guys so much. He's got so many words to say.
Tunde Abiola, Nigerian music to the world. 90,000 capacity. Isn't that so cool?
Amazing. And they're just getting started, aren't they?
I know. I mean, I felt so emotional when I watched Fireboy cry after that concert. It was so beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I teared up as well.
Yes.
Real men cry. Real men cry, Dr. Abati. What do you think? I definitely think they do, especially when it's tears of joy and he's just so overwhelmed by the moment and just clearly thinking about everything that led him to that moment. Beautiful. Couldn't have happened for a better person.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to both of them, Burna Boy and Fireboy. Well, let's begin what's trending, with reactions trailing the response by the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, who on Thursday reacted to the reported crisis within the opposition party. In a series of tweets, Atiku said that the party will remain united as action is being taken to address the grievances of its party members, including governors, who he says are much loved and respected by him. His tweets follow comments made by the governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom, who recently expressed reservations over Atiku's decision to name the governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, as his running mate, instead of the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, whom the party's National Working Committee recommended for the position. Let's take a tweet from Afam, who wrote, "If Atiku can't unify PDP, how can he unify Nigerians? 14 out of 17 PDP members recommended Governor Wike for vice president, yet Atiku picked Okowa. Some tests of democratic process, and he has failed. Anybody that can't grant the people's wish shouldn't be anywhere close to power." Well, in another development, a cross-section of Nigerians on Thursday reacted to the supposed meeting between the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the Rivers State Governor, Nyesom Wike, in France after a former spokesperson of the All Progressives Congress in Lagos State, Joe Igbokwe, took to his Facebook page to insinuate that both politicians may have met in the Western European country. Joe Igbokwe on his Facebook wrote, "While they are on social media abusing everybody, Governor Wike goes to front to meet Asiwaju. Abuse, calling names, hate, and bigotry are no strategy. They hated and abused President Muhammadu Buhari since 2015, and now they have transferred the aggression to Asiwaju. We'll wait and see." Well, let's take a tweet from Tombo, who wrote, "I knew a headline like this will come. Wike is an acute political opportunist. And like every other opportunist, he is too weak to notice that the red X signal exists on the political highway. He wants to prove a point that without him, PDP can't make it. So naive. He needs PDP more than PDP needs him." Rufai, your comment on this story.
So, I mean, a lot has been said as regards this visit. And in the fair spirit of balancing, I don't care too much for politicians when they try to be sanctimonious. Mm-hmm. If you call this anti-party activities, everybody has gone across board. They've all gone across party lines. Everybody's all guilty. Politicians will do what's in their best interest. That's what concerns them. They don't care about the people. They don't care about any of us. It's about them, and it's about their macho ego, very big ego. The point here is, Wike is disgruntled. He feels upset. He's showing it in this way. He's saying, "I'll do everything possible to show that I'm upset." In all of this, he has not left the party yet.
Well, we haven't heard from him.
We've not heard from him.
Yes.
We can't quote him anywhere where he said he has left the party. Yeah. In fact, all we can quote are the words he has always said before, that he will not leave the party for any reason.
Right.
Secondly, Atiku Abubakar wrote a statement yesterday saying, "I will unite the party." From what I hear, that process has started. In fact, from what I hear, Governor Autumn has been called. Because if you watched television yesterday, about 7 p.m., Governor Autumn was pressed by a journalist to pretty much say the things he said on Arise TV yesterday, but you will see that he was taking a different turn.
Yeah, you saw that, yeah.
It was deliberate. So obviously he has been called, and some sort of agreement has been reached. Another school of thought in all of this is saying, okay, why is Wike doing all of this? I mean, Kwankwaso lost elections, he didn't do otherwise. What's it called? Even Atiku Abubakar at some point, things didn't go his way. He didn't say he was going to leave the party. Some are making arguments for him. That's probably where he reacts like Olugbodi said. One thing is certain. For Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to put out that tweet, they're already closing ranks. Let's see how far-reaching that will be. If politicians want to meet, they don't need to tell us. They'll do it among themselves. That's why I don't care too much for them.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, they might have called Wike. They might have fixed a meeting somewhere. I mean, like Tunde was saying, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is in Spain, and Turkey is just around the corner, or France, as he went. They might meet. All right? They will close their ranks. They will do what they ought to do. But what I'm more concerned about is how politics can work for Nigerians. I repeat this thing. A lot of people look at me and say, "Rufai, you're lying. Everybody's a political." I'm very apolitical. Because I don't care for the propagation of an individual's ego, which I think is politics. The only time I can be political is when I see clear ideologies. There are no clear ideologies in Nigerian politics as we speak today. That's why I'm very political. It's not about, oh, this is my position, this is what I'm to do, this is what a party stands for. Probably the only time we had the ideology, maybe was the time of the action group and the likes. That you know, okay, this was center-right, they work for the people, it's going to be, sort of like a socialist government. So it's for them to fix their problems. But for me, what I care the most about are suffering Nigerians.
Right.
The Nigerians that students can't go to school. ASU is shouting by the day. Because we can't pay 1.2 trillion, but we pay over 5 trillion in subsidies, but we can't fix our education sector. There's crude oil theft, there's insecurity. People can't sleep, people can't travel, people get scared to travel. Those are the things that are more concerned. And anybody that brings a solution to them, good on them.
All right, Dr. Abati, what do you make of Joe Igbokwe's Facebook post?
Well, I mean, what has been said is that Wike is, Joe Igbokwe,
yes,
the special advisor on the drainages in Lagos, former spokesperson of the All Progressives Congress in Lagos. It's at best a hint. He says why people are arguing, they are meeting, Wike and Asiwaju, Bola, Ahmed, Tinubu are meeting somewhere in Europe. Well, the Wike group has not confirmed it. I've spoken to one or two persons in the Wike camp. They said, well, it's propaganda, it is not true, but whatever it is,
right,
the truth will come out. What is established is that Wike is aggrieved. And he's been talking to the opposition. He has been visited in his base in Port Harcourt by even Kwakwanso, the leader of the New Nigeria People's Party. Will he go with the NNPP? If he does so, he will lose all, because it's not certain that Rabiu Kwakwanso is willing or ready to step down and forget his own presidential ambition. And I do not think that, Wike will just abandon certainty, because there's greater certainty in the PDP rather than in the NNPP. He has also had, encounter with the candidate of the Labour Party, that's Mr. Peter Obi. We're told that they've met. Would Wike go to Labour Party? Well, I guess the PDP is a bigger platform than the Labour Party, despite the fact that the Labour Party, with the symbolism and popularity of Peter Obi, is gaining some traction. Will he defect from the party? Well, it is within his prerogative to do so. But if he defects to the All Progressives Congress, he's going to meet some of his tough rivals in the APC. Yeah, has he resolved his quarrel with Rotimi Amechi, who is a big shot in the APC? Will he go and queue up behind Rotimi Amechi in Rivers politics? Can he afford to do that? Now, if he says he's going to any other political party of his choice, okay, can he jeopardize the interests of the PDP? Even if the national interest does not matter to him, can he afford to jeopardize the interests of the PDP at the gubernatorial level in Rivers State? I said earlier that, look, those who played that kind of politics in the 2003 elections lost out. The only person at the time who was smarter, if I may use that word advisedly, than the other AD governors was Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Lagos. Although Obasanjo won majority votes in Lagos in the presidential election, but Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the time was able to separate very carefully and make sure that he protected his own interests. And that was how he ended up as the last man standing. Well, historians on the subject can analyze it from different directions. But at the end of the day, what we see playing out here is that politicians have personal interests.
Yes.
Their personal interests are very important to them. Okay, why do people go into politics? I've seen, an old colleague, who told me that, look, he's in politics because he wants to be holding one position after the other. I said, no, it's not a profession. He said, no, you don't understand this thing. It's a profession.
Yes.
If you are in politics, you are not there because you want to come and discuss ideology. Mm-hmm. You are there because you want your party to win. And it's not just your party winning. It is what you can get from it. So we are not at that enlightened level in Nigerian politics where people worry about the big picture, which is very unfortunate. And that was why I said earlier on that you cannot beat a child and say the child should not cry. So Wike has been beaten. Yes, part of crying is perhaps talking to opposition, sending signals that, you people, if you don't value me, things will happen. Governor Autumn told us that Wike may be something. That was what he said about it. He said he may be something, but that he's a man that is committed to value addition and is, who is a grassroots mobilizer, and that Atiku Abubakar will have to talk to him, negotiate with him. And Governor Autumn was giving the indication that Atiku Abubakar has been snubbing Wike. I don't think he should be treated with contempt. He should not. The attitude should not be, if he wants to cry, let him cry. If you beat a child, he's crying, you give the child lollipop. So let them find lollipop and find a way of resolving the matter so that the damage to the party will not be a big one. I don't think it should be underestimated. Okay, if it is true that a meeting has taken place, we will get more details, clearly. It's not the end of the drama.
Absolutely.
It's an unfolding melodrama.
Right. Tundu, this day reported that they may have met. Igbokwe is insinuating that they actually met, but could it all just mean something else? Does it have to be that Wike wants to defect? Couldn't it just be a pleasant visit? He's been visiting so many people anyways.
A nice little tete-a-tete.
Yeah, because I know you're always
in France. I think what has happened is clear. Governor Wike feels slighted. And like you've said, I think he's just showing the fact, I outlined his options. So I think he's trying to demonstrate to the PDP that he does have options. And I think that's all he's doing. I would say he should stop at that point of demonstrating that you have options. We all get the point. Rather than flouncing off in a huff and just destroying everything he's built over decades, that would be really tragic, because there is the Amechi factor in River State. Like you said about Governor Wike, I wouldn't underestimate somebody who came second in the presidential primaries of the ruling party. So it's not like Governor Wike is going to leave PDP if he decides to and get a warm embrace from APC in River State. That's another battle. I just don't see how it's worth it. But I think it's enough to just demonstrate that, hey, I'm a political juggernaut here, and I'm not to be treated lightly.
Very well said. Well, let's take this final story that topped the entertainment media space in Nigeria. Singer and producer Abdulrasheed Bello, better known as JJC Skills, on Thursday took to Instagram to announce his separation from his wife, popular Nollywood actress Funke Akindele. The producer, in his statement, said that the last 2 years of their marriage have been difficult, and as such, they have resolved to part ways, further stating that he is making the announcement so that the public is clear that they are both pursuing separate lives. In April this year, JJC Skills had denied claims that there was crisis in their marriage. I love Funke. I just don't like these types of stories that come up. But unfortunately, this topped the trend for hours because of the manner in which JJC Skills announced the separation. These people are role models, and a lot of people are saying, why make that type of public announcement if you haven't consulted with your wife? Rufai, I don't know if you have followed the story so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite very sad, this had to happen to both of them. I thought they all had it put together. When it comes to matters of the heart, we need to be careful.
Yes.
And the reaction, a lot of people are saying that why there should have been a joint statement of some sort, that JJC should have announced it. But things had really fallen apart. So much so that I think Funke's son-in-law, I think one of JJC's son, even released a statement and talked about how terrible things were, that they were just living a lie together all this while and all of that. And that kept on going on, and that was also added to the conversation. But in matters of the heart, I wish them both luck. For the interest of their children, they had children together, they had twins. I just hope they are civil, they work out the arrangement of custody, and I wish them the best.
We don't know what goes on within the marriage, but it's just the appearance, really. It's also the fact that they are both, super role models for a lot of young people. And I don't think that the statement was bad, Dr. Abati, but I just felt like it should have been, in a joint form.
We've seen in recent times, an increase in the number of marriages crashing in Nollywood. And people have been raising questions, what is going on in Nollywood? In the last year alone, up to about 10 marriages have crashed, in Nollywood. Is there something about celebrities and their marriages? Okay, that's one question we really cannot answer. The second thing, of course, is that it's very difficult to judge people, when relationships collapse, because it's a private zone.
Yes.
We talk about these persons because they are celebrities.
They are celebrities, they are public figures.
And, nobody should judge. I don't think anybody should judge. I think what we should do, because children are involved, is to encourage them, to put the interests of the children first. And as is done in, in matrimonial courses, what is usually done is to encourage reconciliation. And that's why under the Marriage Act, there's this assumption that, look, there's room for reconciliation, except a certain threshold is passed. After all, we have seen in the even more dramatic case of Femi Fani-Kaode and his wife, White Snow, right?
I mean,
that was quite an elaborate drama out there, with accusations and counter-accusations. Today, the same Femi Fani-Kaode has regained his talents as a poet, writing poetry for the same woman.
I love that.
So, in fact, his most recent one was titled "I'm a Woman," and it was waxing lyrical, and he has celebrated the woman and the children. So you never know.
Yes.
So tomorrow there's room for reconciliation. That's why we should not waste too much saliva on other people's affairs. We should just encourage them and pray for them.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you may see the two of them coming together, color coding,
yes,
as Funke Akindele and JJ Skills always do. And then they will say, no. Everything is at peace.
Sure, that's why it's called coding. I love these people. I love Funke. I wish them the best. I just wish that people should stop commenting negatively with cases like this. Well, thank you all for your great analysis.
Yes, thank you very much, Ojineka.
Great weekend. Well, all right.
What's the plan for this Friday?
I'll let you know after the show,
okay,
as always.
Tell me.
That's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all next week.